Carl and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's they made what into a TV series. We continue Donkey Kong Country, episode number 13, The Curse of Kongo Bongo, written by Erica Strobel. So back to solo writers for the time being. And we begin as DK's getting ready for bed, having just brushed his hair. 100 brushes apparently. Yeah. I like DK, man. I've warmed to him at this point.
I like him
He's
too.
a lovable idiot.
I like him too, but he's like the dumb hero. He's got no brains, basically.
Yeah, he's lovable.
Yeah.
Way more lovable than a lot of the other bloody idiots.
Yes.
Before we can go to bed, though, his doorbell rings and DK has had a letter delivered. He reads it and finds that it's a curse, and it suggests that the island of Kongo Bongo will be destroyed. And I was like, okay, that's different.
Doorbells and post.
Yeah. The logistics of this Kongo Bongo is often very confusing, particularly as we see literally nobody except the apes and the lizards. But apparently lots of people live there. I don't know. We don't worry too much about that. But I'll admit, I was like, oh, it's just a letter from K. Rool. It's going to be a trap. It's going to be something stupid like that. The next day, DK and Diddy meet Dixie at Funky's. Dixie's in it again. She's there to get her first flying lesson. And the trio then see Funky in his biplane as it starts to crash. They love doing this whole, oh, it's going to crash, but no, it doesn't. But it's just Funky being Funky, as apparently he fell asleep at the wheel. And Dixie is able to contact him to wake him up. Although it's a close call as he swoops down and knocks Candy out of a sun lounger. Good. Anytime Candy gets messed with, I don't care.
Seriously, man, if you're a kid watching Funky as a character, man, if you actually knew, like, I mean, as our ages, we know like what sort of character he is.
Oh yeah. They'll just turn around and like, I'm sure the creators will turn around and say, no, he's just super relaxed and chilled, man. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, what's relaxing him and chilling him out, eh?
Falling asleep while flying a plane, so clearly he's high.
Yep, that's what it is. Once landed, Dixie decided to take her first flying lesson, and her and Funky head off. K. Rool, because obviously we can't go an episode without K. Rool, and he's mad with Clump, who has disturbed them before his bath. And now we see that Polly Roger is back in this episode.
Yep.
Hasn't been seen since the last time, and now is just back, just here in the lair. As if, like, they do it in a way as if, like, the bird's always been there as well. K. Rool reveals to Clump reveals to K. Rool that he has a plan to get the crystal coconut, but his plan is in code, and he's forgotten how to decipher it. I was like, of course, why not?
Yep.
Crusher tries to help, and the two try to decipher it right there and then, much to both K. Rool and Polly's annoyance. K. Rool then offers Polly anything he wants if he can get the coconut. Polly flies off. Apparently it's that easy.
Yep.
Anything you want. Yep. Back with the apes, Cranky is ransacking his hut looking for something as DK and Diddy arrive. It appears as though Cranky also got a note, and Diddy reveals he got one too. Cranky then reveals a legend surrounding the ghost of the pirate Bluebeard Baboon and the curse of the double doubloon. God damn it, guys, with his words. And he demands to know if they've read the letter. Diddy didn't, but DK did, which has started the curse, and the power of the crystal coconut is fading. Should someone else read the curse, hence the double part, the crystal coconut will lose all its power and Kongo Bongo will sink. And I was like, hold up. We got an episode with stakes.
Pretty much, yeah. But again, it's back to now. So now the coconut has the power to keep the island above water.
Well, I don't necessarily know if it's I don't know if it's necessarily the coconut or it's just. I don't fucking know. I don't know. How can a curse possibly do this?
Yep.
I don't know. But I was happy enough to have something where we was like, oh, there's a stake here. There's something on the line finally. The apes realise that the other apes must have got a note, and they're going to have to stop them from reading it. But not before DK sings a song called Bluebeard's Baboon's Curse of the Double Doubloon. So yeah, it's a song. In K. Rool's lair, Clump and Crusher are still trying to decode their plan. We then hear Cranky is calling his great aunt Grouchy. Get it? He's cranky, she's grouchy. Yeah. And he's asking about the curse as we see Polly flying in. At Funky's place, DK and Diddy try to call Funky and Dixie down from flying, but the radio is cutting out, suggesting that Diddy wants them to read the letters. So it's like he's saying, don't read the letter, but the don't part is getting cut off, so it sounds like read the letter.
Yep.
Funny that the radio decided to go faulty now.
Yep, perfect timing.
Yep. Funky thinks it's a good idea. Admittedly, Funky's saying, oh yeah, it's always a good idea, we should read our mail. Didn't make me laugh.
Yep.
He hands Dixie a letter, something that Diddy hears over the radio and tries to stop. This is Funky, though, who starts to read. Thankfully, Dixie does a plane stunt that results in the letters falling out of their hand, and DK and Diddy are able to get hold of them after a little bit of Pratt falling.
Yep.
They then head off to get the others. Don't mind how it came about. You know, I actually like the idea of like everyone almost reading it.
Yeah, I suppose it's a bit of suspense in it. So.
Yeah, suspense.
Yeah.
So Cranky has learned from Grouchy that there is a spell that can cancel out the curse, because of course there is. Obviously that powerful of a curse can just be cancelled with a spell. And all of this is while Polly watches on. But as the bird flies in to get the crystal coconut, Cranky turns around and sees her, and they have a little fight, which is fun.
Yeah.
Cranky manages to stop Polly from taking the coconut, but the bird leaves with Cranky's spell book, which is a problem because that's where the spell stop the curse is going to be in.
Convenient.
Of course.
In the exact book they need.
The fact it even exists is just a convenience of all.
Yeah, of course.
Cranky tries to use the crystal coconut's waning power to hologram over the DK, but it doesn't work properly, and he's almost hit by Funky's plane. So it's like I don't know what we describe it, like a malfunctioning thing where it's like, he tries to like hologram to where DK is, but it sends him over here and it sends him over there. Yeah. Don't mind that.
No, I'm okay there.
Meanwhile, DK and Diddy have found Candy and beg her not to read it. However, it's one of those Candy being a dick thing, and she thinks DK doesn't want her to read it because he's jealous as it's a letter from a secret admirer. I was like, get fucked, man.
Yeah.
Get fucked. Who's your secret admirer? There's no one else here. Bluster?
Bluster, yeah.
She starts to read it, and we see the coconut beginning to fall. But Funky's plane swoops in, happily, and knocks Candy out of a lounger, and she drops the letter. This allows DK and Diddy to grab it and then just leave. Meanwhile, Polly has returned and brought the spellbook to K. Rool and told him about the curse. But K. Rool, a lid like this, he don't give a shit. He's like, I told you to get the coconut.
Yep.
Like, don't want this. I wanted a coconut. Polly then proves the worth of the book by recanting a spell and freezing Clump in place. K. Rool then sees an opportunity here and messes around with it, forcing Crusher to bounce around like a bunny, Polly to yodel over and over again, and Clump to do jumping jacks. So yeah, it's all fun and games for K. Rool now.
Yeah.
Cranky's hologram does appear in the lair, but outside K. Rool, and he sees what's going on. At the barrel factory, Bluster also got a letter, and he thinks his one is very official and it might mean he's won a big prize. I don't know where he get these things from. There's a skull and fucking crossbones on it.
Did you enter that competition to win the prize?
No. Yes. DK and Diddy come running in, and Bluster suspects that they're here to stop him getting his prize. So he runs off, and DK and Diddy bemoan the potential fate of Kongo Bongo. K. Rool is still having a lot of fun with his spellbook, forcing his minions to do stupid things, and then he kicks into a song called Spellbound, and this is a really long song.
Yes,
it's a really long one.
Yep.
Filler. DK and Diddy are in the jungle, having tried to find Bluster. They're about to give up, but the smell of cheap cologne alerts them to Bluster hiding above them in a tree, which apparently didn't hear DK and Diddy talking below him.
Yep.
He starts to read the curse, but Diddy distracts him, allowing DK to simply grab the letter. Nothing really in this one.
Nope.
So DK and Diddy have all the letters, they celebrate and go back to Cranky. And then Cranky reveals there's one more letter, and it's his. You know what I thought we were going to get here? End of Terminator 2.
Oh.
It's one more. And Cranky was going to, have to kill himself. Yep. Back with K. Rool, who's now flying in the air, before forcing his minions to cluck like chickens. I'm like, so fuck the crystal coconut, he's just having a blast.
Yep.
Instead of also maybe using this on the apes. He then sees Cranky's curse letter was in the book and picks it up. Cranky's hologram then appears and demands the return of the book. Naturally, K. Rool tells him to bugger off. Doesn't use those words, but close enough. And points out, look, you're just a hologram.
Yep.
Cranky, though, starts to wind him up, though, which now works, and K. Rool tries to attack the hologram. So stupid.
It is, yeah.
In his attempts, Polly is knocked off his perch and lands in front of the cursed letter. And I thought this was one good part here.
Yeah.
Polly reads, not out loud, but reads the curse and knows all about it and freaks out, scared of the consequences.
Yep.
I was like, oh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah,
that makes it feel more dangerous.
Maybe like the bird was actually with the pirate, who knows?
Well, not necessarily that. I think it's more that the bird's a pirate anyway.
Yeah.
It's like a great ancestor, and more that because of that, it just knows about it. K. Rool agrees to not read the letter, and I was like, "You're a fucking idiot." But he follows up. He shut me up by saying, "Provide hand over the crystal coconut."
Yeah.
Hand it over, and then I won't read the letter.
Brilliant.
So yeah, that's exactly it. Then Cranky, one-ups him with this by saying, "Well, if the island sinks, the coconut is useless. I was like, oh.
Good response.
Yeah, but again, K. Rool doubles down with that, and because he's very blasé about it. He's basically, I don't really care.
Yep.
And I was a bit like, this is quite cool. This is quite cool. But along come DK and Diddy to ruin the fun, and Cranky orders them to stop K. Rool. But the lizard, in an incredible moment, has had enough and just starts reading the words really quickly. I was like, holy shit, he's doing it. He's going to do it. He's going to bring the place down. We see the crystal coconut fade and dim as the island begins to shake. And I was like, oh my God, it's actually happening.
Yep.
But I did have a brief moment. What if they're wrong and it's just like lost and this is the island moving?
Yes.
Everyone begins to freak out as it looks like to be all over for the island. DK remembers, though, that they can stop the curse by reading the spell from the book. He attacks K. Rool, and the two, alongside Polly and Diddy, try to get the book. In a melee, it is knocked into the pit that leads to K. Rool's underground factory. DK, desperate to save the island, jumps after it. And I thought we were getting something really impactful here.
Yep.
Because it goes slow motion as DK dives into it. I'm not saying he was going to die.
Lava pit, yeah.
But it felt like this is a big deal.
Yep.
It's not, because literally we hear DK reading the spell directly afterwards and he comes up on a lift.
Yep.
I was like, oh, well, that was low stakes in the end.
Yep.
And they simply walk out as K. Rool can do nothing but watch. And that's it. It literally ends that abruptly. And I was like, oh, well, that was a thing.
Yeah. I had a lot of issues with this episode. You know,
I liked it.
I liked it. I liked the idea behind it.
Yep.
But it is the fact that on the entire island, only the apes got letters. So none of the lizards got letters. The ice monster in the bloody mountains have never got letters.
Yeah.
So only the apes got letters. Donkey Kong is supposed to be the next leader, yet no one listens to him.
Yeah, but what? Yeah.
No one respects him. He's supposed to be the next your boss potentially, or the leader. And literally, Buster, Candy, they're all like, who the hell are you?
I guess that's why he can't be leader just yet, can he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of questions about it. Who delivered the letters? Who delivered the letters? You know, I thought we were going to get into a bit of a jokey reference to like chain emails here, and we're going to find that Clump sent the letters out because he accidentally opened one that said he had to pass it on to 10 people. And I thought that could have been at least funny, but that was not the case. It's episode 13, The Curse of Kongo Bongo. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's it. That's all I can really say about it.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts, Snip? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?